Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday from Bay Path Regional Vocational Technical High School. As you know, Fridays mean one thing. It's a weekly football review. And we're super excited once again to have Coach Giamper alongside of us. Coach, how are you doing, my friend? How was your Friday?
It's good. You?
Outstanding. Thank you very much. And neither one of us would say anything other than that to the audience we have in front of us. And listen, Fridays means one thing. It's football time once again. So let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit about last week. Obviously, we came up a little bit short. But I'll tell you what, I think every time in every game there's an opportunity to learn or opportunity to grow. You got a young team. So let's talk about how that last week's game, what it was all about, and where it gets you to today.
Yeah, I mean, I thought our team, I thought we competed hard. Our kids, you can say a lot about them, but they play hard. They played for 4 quarters. We just ran into a really good, Northeast Metro team. Mr. Carrero just came and talked to me. I guess the MIA ratings came out today, and I think they're up like, they're a top 5 team in Division 5 right now. So, we held our own with a really good team. And at the end of the day, you can't ask too much more than that from high school kids. A lot of room to improve. A lot of places that we can get better. We watched the film on Monday, and we, attacked the places that we think that we need to improve on all week. But ultimately, the kids are competing at a high level. Obviously, the result wasn't what we wanted, but winning is hard, and learning how to win is an important part of what we're going through right now. So, like I said, as long as we walk out of the game better than we walked into it, you can't really ask for too much more than that. So, obviously disappointing, but given the level of competition that we're playing against and where our kids are at, I think the kids handled themselves fine.
I love that you see it in that capacity. And sometimes from an outsider, it's always hard to digest and understand the inner journey that comes with helping kids learn how to win. It's very easy from the sidelines to say coulda, coulda, shoulda. But I'll tell you what, when you have young kids in key spots, they're learning how to make the things happen in the moment. You just can't you can't turn that key. That comes with time. And that comes with experience. So again, a couple flips, you're 3-0. You're 1-2 right now. It gives you an opportunity to be able to continue to build and move forward from there. So let's talk a little bit about Clinton. They're a perennial powerhouse. It's you guys got the better than last year. An outstanding game. And let's talk about how you prepare for them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a fun rivalry the past few years. There's a lot of similarities between the two teams. They just have, tough blue collar kids who, play football the right way. And, the past 3 years, this has been an incredibly competitive game that could go either way on both sides. So, like you said, they're one of the top teams in their division this year. They're a team that I think was picked to go in the preseason to go pretty far, to either get to Gillette or to get pretty close to Gillette. So, it's another playoff team that we're playing tonight, and I think it'll be a tremendous challenge for us. But again, that's part of it. You want the challenge, you want to play good teams, and so this is what we signed up to do. So we're excited for the opportunity to compete against a good team.
Well, I'll tell you, we had this talk a while ago, and when you elevate your athletics and your programs, and you have that consistency of winning, you want to stretch, you want to move forward. So I applaud you guys for taking on the giants in the football world, and again, that's where you want to be measured at. So I love that. So again, like you said, last 3 years. Great. It's a great contest for us. It's a total win-win for us any way we look at it. But what do you think some of the key elements are tonight for you to be successful?
Yeah, we just got to execute. They're a team that's loaded with seniors this year. They have most of their team from last year is coming back this year. So, it's just going to come down to execution for us. We just got to execute our plays and know what we're doing, know where we're supposed to be, and get to where we're supposed to be going and get there with an attitude. It's not, I don't really think there's, in a game like this, this has certainly been the way it's played out the past 3 years. I mean, I don't think there's much of a mystery to what either group is going to do. So, they're going to be physical. They're going to be confident. They're going to be flying around, and we need to be able to do the same thing. So, like I said, it's been a really fun game. I have a ton of respect for their coaching staff, and what they do and what they've done over, a very long time at several different stops for some of those guys. But, they have really good coaches. So, ultimately it doesn't, like, we've talked about this before. It really doesn't come down to, X's and O's too much. It's going to come down to what our kids can do and what our kids can execute. And it's our job as coaches to put them in the best position possible to try to help them do that. So, I'm looking forward to it. I like playing teams that are good. And we've certainly done that so far this year. And again, our kids, for as inexperienced as some of them are, they don't back down. They hold their own. So we're going to look to continue to do it. And if we can take the next step, then we're going to be in a good place. But, again, that comes with time and that comes with experience. So
let's talk about that for a second. And as head coach, you must be really proud of your defensive end, your defensive squad here. They've really kept it in check, I think, so far this year. They're not letting up a lot of yardage. They're not giving up a lot of points. They're allowing you to be able to stay in games. So, defense wins championships. You know that as well as I do. And talk a little bit about your defense and the kids that are really excelling there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think our defense, I've been as complimentary of our defense as anybody the past 2 weeks. I mean, we've put them in some bad spots offensively just with the amount of time they've had to be on the field, and they've done a tremendous job, whether it's, some of the guys on the D-line rotating in. Our defensive backfield, I think, has been pretty good. Whether it's, I think Isaiah Monette's played really well at corner. Trevor Rose has been, a tackling machine at safety. JC has been doing a great job at the other corner. We have some young kids. Cam Rockwood's done a really nice job at safety. And then again, our D-line, D-line's done a nice job. The kids who've gotten opportunities and gotten in, they've done a nice job. Our outside linebackers, Max and Dom, have both done a really nice job. And, we've got to do a better job of getting those guys off the field. But, again, football's, every team we play wants to be on the field offensively. So, it's a two-way street. But I think I've been incredibly complimentary of our defense. I think Kathleen Adams in the middle of the defense has done a nice job flying around and making plays. So, those guys, they just need to, our defensive staff continually preaches effort. And that's really a lot of what defense is. It's effort. It's flying around. It's your will against your opponent's will. And they've done a really nice job, and they've done their job. And like you said, they've kept us in some of these games. So, hopefully, I can do a better job and our offense can, start moving the ball a little bit more consistently. But ultimately, I think our defense has done a really nice job, and, they've kept us in it. So I'm excited to see them. And again, those are all young kids too. I think every kid I just mentioned was not a starter last year. So, they've stepped up and they've been playing hard. And, that's really all it takes. You just got to keep playing hard and doing what you can, and then good things eventually break your way.
I agree with you 100%. On the other side of the coin, we look offensively. With last year, you had some juggernauts in the backfield. There's no doubt about it. You had that experience. It's a little bit easier to navigate. Here now, you've got some new younger kids trying to test those waters, trying to be that guy that can punch it into that end zone when you're inside the 20-yard line. Talk about that a little bit. I know that sometimes it's not as easy as it looks, but the future is really bright with some of the people you have back there looking to carry the football.
Yeah, I think, again, I haven't been discouraged with what I'm seeing, from a schematic standpoint, or, the kids, again, they work hard, and really once you lose that, that's when you start getting nervous. But again, a lot of it just comes to inexperience. They're just, they're overthinking. And again, they're doing a lot of good things though. And we just got to get those guys to take the next step, and, we'll keep pushing them to do that and make sure they do their job. I think like what you just said is what we're trying to avoid. We don't need a guy to be a hero. We don't need guys to be the guy. We just need guys to do their job. And if we can do our job and do our job consistently, and, again, you look at the film from the past 2 weeks, most guys are doing their job. It's just, we just got to get it consistent. That's all. So, again, I'm not discouraged at all. I think I agree with you. I think we have a world of talent on both sides of the ball. We just gotta do our job consistently, and we're gonna be just fine. I'm very encouraged. Again, I think I've said it a million times. I think we're incredibly fortunate to coach great kids up here, who play football for the right reasons, who aren't, who are team first guys, who want the team to be successful over themselves being successful. And again, that's not everywhere, and I mean that's not even everywhere within their own spheres of influence. So, the fact that we have so many kids that they just want to have fun, they just want to play football, they want to have an opportunity to play this this great sport and do things the right way and hold their head up at the end of it. So, if you have that, you have a chance to be successful. Once you start doing the finger pointing and well, I did my job, but nobody else is doing their job. And we talked on Monday. There's plenty of finger pointing to go around everywhere, but there's also plenty of really good things to go around everywhere. So, I'm not discouraged at all. I think offensively we have a world of talent. We just got to take that next step and just play, play a little bit more confidently. And again, eventually that'll come. So.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect you to be discouraged at all. I love what you have. I love what you're doing. Huge supporter of the journey, athletics, what it's all about. And there's no doubt that our kids are in the right hands. I just say this, man, I wish you the best of luck. Continue to look forward. Continue to build up all the kids around you. Help them to find their roles. That special teams, how important that is as well. That's an unforgiving job sometimes because you got to make that big play every time you go down. So, talk about your special teams really quickly because we never get a chance to recognize them.
Yeah, I mean I have a special place in my heart for special teams because those kids those are usually, those are the kids, and we play the best 11 that we can put on the field in every situation. So even on special teams, we have some guys who are starters, some guys who aren't, but special teams, like you said, you got to really love what you're doing, and be enthusiastic about it. And I think so far, again, we just young kids, so every once in a while we make a couple mistakes, but again, like we don't, what I'm encouraged by is our kids don't get discouraged. They are looking for the reason why, and then they apply that and they try not to make the same mistake twice. And like I said, if we can keep doing that, we're going to be okay.
I love that right there, Coach Ciampa. So tonight, 7 p.m. at Clinton. 6:30. Get that right. At Clinton, we have another face-off about two powerhouse football teams. Can't wait to see it. Hope to see you there. Coach, best of luck to you, your coaching staff, and your players. Go out there, have a good time, and most importantly,